Hi everyone, this is Christy Tania and we're back again with a how-to video for Thermomix. Today we are going to show you how to temper chocolate, and this is video 1 out of 3 to show you how easy it is to actually do chocolate tempering. For the first video, we're going to show you how to temper dark chocolate. Arguably is the easiest out of the 3 types of chocolate: milk, white and dark. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you how to create the decorations using the chocolate tempering. We already create some beautiful chocolate fondant cakes as the base of the recipe. To find the recipe, you just have to go to Cookie Dough and search for chocolate fondant. So I'm using this chocolate fondant cake. It is super easy and super delicious, really moist inside. I've changed the recipe that you find in Cookie Dough to be gluten-free. So please feel free to change the plain flour with gluten-free flour, and I reduced the cooking time by half because this is a lot smaller. So that's what we're going to use for today's chocolate tempering lessons, and let's begin. Alright, so every chocolate has completely different tempering temperature because every chocolate has different percentage of chocolate and recipe. So for example, I have few different brands of chocolate today that I'm going to use. This one is a Belgian one. Every chocolate brand, when you look at the back, they will have here the temperature of what is the tempering chocolate. Here they basically ask you to bring it up to 50 to 55 degrees, bring it down again to 26 to 28, and then bring it up again to 31 to 32 before you use it. Alright, so we're going to cut this process and go from this peak to the next peak, because this chocolate is already tempered. Alright, so when you want to temper chocolate in the Thermomix, I would really advise you to go nothing less than 300 grams. It's because when it's too little, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to work with. To temper chocolate, we do what we call seeding in a pastry world. That's where you introduce a little bit cold chocolate to the melted chocolate to bring the temperature down quickly. Okay? Alright. So first, put around 200 grams of dark chocolate. You see they already come in pallets like this, a lot of this chocolate. Sometimes I found that some really good chocolate also come in blocks, and you need to chop them into smaller pieces so that it's easier for your Thermomix to work with. Okay, like around 200 grams. I will strongly advise you to keep it in a burst of 1 minute. All right, let's put it at 1 minute, 50 degrees, not more than 2.5. Okay, so you're keeping it at the burst of 1 minute. It's not going to be completely melted, but what you do is you need to swoosh everything again to the center. Repeat the process. 1 minute, 50 degrees, 2.5 speed. Alright, so that's the second burst and everything is completely melted. So this is when we introduce the seeding. Okay, so how much do we add on to this? It's around 1/3. So just now we put 200 grams, so we're going to put around 50 to 70 grams of unmelted chocolate pellets to this. Back to scale, put it to, I'll put maybe another like 70. So now, close the lid, turn off the temperature, and again, melt everything at 2.5. Always scraping the side at the burst of 1 minute. Alright, that's the first burst of 1 minute. The same thing as well. And start again for 1 minute. Another equipment that is really worth it of investment, is actually not that expensive at all, is a digital thermometer. Alright, so this is the second burst of 1 minute of cooling it down. I'm just gonna check with the temperature of with the digital thermometer of where we are. Look at that. We're at the perfect temperature to work. Okay, so this is where you want it to be. If turn out to be that you're still hotter, continue the burst. So what we're trying to do today with this melted dark chocolate is this beautiful blooming chocolate dessert that's definitely gonna impress anyone. Alright, so we're going to make the petals. All you need is this acetate film and just stick it down to your bench. And the next thing you need, go to your garage and get PVC pipe. This one is a bit bruised and battered because this is exactly what I'm using. It's the same one that I use every day for work here in the kitchen. This is something that you can use different shape and different diameter. Is going to dictate how big your flour is going to be. And the next thing is, if you have palette knife, that will be cool, but if not, you can also use knife. So you take the melted chocolate that you did just now, keep it to the side, pull it down. Alright, then you just take your pie and just rest it inside. So I'm going to put it in a fridge and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so we're going to assemble our dessert. So from the leftover of chocolate that you tempered just now, this is going to be the glue. Chocolate fondant in the middle. Put whatever you feel like. Edible flowers, some berries. Here we go. Just have to pull it. And voila. We're just going to assemble the chocolate petals to be around the dessert. Glue at the base. So, how do we make it bloom? This is a perfect dessert and it's going to be complete with this custard. So I took this custard recipe from the cookie dough for the runny custard. Keep it at a hot temperature. Just as you serve it to your guests, pour it around. And there you have it. The blooming chocolate fondant cake with a very, very delicious custard and a little bit of theater on the side. So this is how to make your ordinary dinner party extraordinary.